Rex Graham was born on January 9, 1967, to Lyle and Rosaline Graham. He grew up on the outskirts of Harrodsburg, Kentucky, before coming to Lexington to study at the University of Kentucky, where he got a degree in marketing. But more importantly, he became heavily involved with Christian Student Fellowship on UK's campus, which eventually led him to become an ordained minister. He went on to become a staff member at CSF for 10 years, which means that we cannot go anywhere without running into someone that he knows from his days at UK. Whether we're just somewhere in town or we're on vacation in places as far away as Canada, there's always someone that he knows and manages to strike up a conversation with. But of course, the most important person that he met during his time there was my mom, Lori. Then, around the year 2000, he decided to leave the campus ministry, and he became a pastor at a small country church a bit past Paris, Kentucky, in Bergen County. Then, only about a year later, his life became considerably busier after I was born. Some of the fondest memories that I have from the early years of my life come from all the Sunday schools, which were often just me and my dad, although that has changed substantially in the past few years, as well as the rides to and from church and the long summer days spent with him while my mom was still finishing out her year of teaching. During these times, we had many good conversations and made countless fun memories, but by far the most valuable lessons that I learned from him came from watching him work. Whether it was fixing something up around the church property, or visiting someone in the community, or writing and rewriting the sermon for the coming week, his diligence and the care that he shows in everything that he does continues to inspire me. Regardless of the time or whatever else is going on, if someone from the congregation, or for that matter, anyone else that he knows is in trouble, he's always willing to help. Whether it means sitting with someone at the hospital so that they're not suffering alone, or visiting people at their homes to ensure they're doing all right, he's always looking for ways to show God's love to everyone that he meets. His desire to share God with those around him is shown particularly clearly in the care that he takes when writing his sermons to make sure that every illustration, analogy, and piece of spiritual guidance is tailored to be as effective and accurate as possible. This focus on the little things is also shown by the intentional effort that he puts into his relationships. Even if he hasn't seen someone for over a decade, he will do everything he can to remember their name and the experiences that they've shared together. One example of this could be seen at the start of every year of elementary school. Each year, he would print off the names of all the kids in my class, and he would memorize them so that he could call them by names more easily, or by their name more easily whenever he chaperoned a field trip, and he would often pray by name for each kid in the class. My dad also has a particular passion for low-profile service. It seems like he's constantly finding little ways to give people a hand, such as shoveling the snow for an elderly neighbor, or taking someone's trash cans from the street back up to their house. Here at LCA, he even pitched in by running the sound system for the elementary chapel services for many years. But I don't want to give you the wrong picture. As anyone who has spent much time with him knows, he's more than willing to goof off and have some fun. Jokes, obscure movie quotes or references, and exaggerated facial expressions, as well as some sly grins, tend to punctuate his interactions with the world, and especially with children. He also spends much of his time bird watching, so on any given Saturday with decent weather, there's a good bet that you'll find him exploring some park or nature preserve with his camera firmly in hand to record any noteworthy sightings. Largely due to this fascination with birds, he also frequently takes long walks around the neighborhood to exercise and see if he can spot any birds worth mentioning. And since our neighborhood backs up to the school, this also means that he can be found wandering around any number of athletic events or other happenings on campus. And because of this, I'd say that there's probably more people at LCA that know who my dad is than know either me or my sister. And my dad has easily had more influence on me than anyone else in my life. And I can say with absolute certainty that I would not be the person that I am today without him. In every way, in everything that he does, he really tries to point back to God. And even with the bird watching, the part of the reason why he's fascinated so deeply by them is because the care that God showed in creation is reflected in every little detail of their appearance. So, thank you.